Hey there everybody, Commander Dave here, and we're back with another video. Now, before this video begins, I'd like to clear some things up first. So, I'd like to apologize for the very long streak of no videos. School has been taking its toll, and everybody knows that. And today we're going to be talking about a very popular subject, how to get Robux on Roblox. And it's quite easy. Now, before this video starts, I'd like to let you know this is not one of those hacking videos, how to generate free Robux, how to hack free Robux, nothing like that. These are legitimate tips on how to get Robux. And you're going to earn it, alright? So, let's get right to it. Alright, so the first method on how to get Robux is groups. Groups are a very popular method on how to do this. So, various ways you can do this is you create a group and you can sell clothing in the group, you can have group places in which you can sell game passes in, various things of that nature. I personally own a clothing group and a couple of other groups that are very good at generating Robux, and I'll show you a couple examples of those. Now, here's an example of a clothing group. A clothing group basically sells clothing in their clothing group, in their group store, and people will buy that clothing, and it's going to generate Robux for the group, in which you can then transfer over to your account. This is my group. I own this group. For clothing groups, you're going to need to know how to make clothing, and you're either going to have to spend Robux in hiring developers on how to make this clothing. Every method on how to get Robux is going to need you to spend Robux to gain Robux, if you know what I'm saying. So for a clothing group, to make clothing, you're either going to have to know how to do it yourself, or you're going to have to spend Robux on developers to do it for you. Now, with these types of groups, you also need to spend Robux on advertisements to grow the group, otherwise nobody's going to really buy your clothing. You need to spend advertisements on places, various things of that nature. So personally, I would not recommend groups unless you're already rich in Robux and just want to make more for some reason, because it takes a large toll on how much Robux you have. Groups are very expensive things to run, and that's coming from a group owner, so trust me there. Let's move on to method number 2. Method number 2, a place, a game, anything. It could be a group place, one of those front page games. These are very effective at generating Robux depending on how you use them, or if you use them correctly. Now, of course, you're still going to need to spend Robux to make this popular, because with places, you're going to have to advertise the place, things of that nature to get people playing your game. But the way to make Robux out of places is, if you can learn how to script and develop, which I will have a link in the description to the Roblox University series, which is I would say a pretty good series at teaching scripting, basic building skills, things of that nature that will help you in creating your own place. And if not, if that's too hard for you, then you can just hire a developer, which again you would need to spend Robux for. But the way you make Robux from places is you make a really popular game. Use developer products, which are small things the players inside of your game can buy. Little perks, extra money. If you're making a tycoon game, you can have people buy. You can make it so people are able to buy money. That's very effective. People will binge buy that money. It's a foolproof method. It works every time. I do it myself. You can make game passes for your games. People will buy the game passes for better perks, better armor, better weapons, things of that nature, depending on what kind of game you have. You can sell clothing for that game inside of the game, little clothing shops, gift shops, things of that nature. But again, you still have to spend Robux or in some sort of way to make this popular. But this is my top recommended method. Now, here's an example of a place which is very good at generating Robux. It's a front page game. I don't actually know as to whether the owner of this game actually advertised the game, because if you already own a very large group, you can simply use that group to advertise your game, and that is very effective. Now, he has all these various game passes, including starter cash, VIP. People will buy VIP like crazy. Tips. A tips game pass, you can do that, but it's not effective at getting Robux. Super VIP, all these various game passes, upgrades, things of that nature. And I'll tell you this, these are very effective at creating Robux, because if you look at this guy, he doesn't have his funds there, but he has 84,000 members in his group. Not only does he use all these games to generate Robux, especially this one, but he also sells clothes in his group, which also generates Robux. So it's kind of a double 2-in-1 type of thing here, and this guy is probably seriously rich. Look at that, he owns a Dominus. It works. Alright, let's move on to method number 3. Method number 3 is clothing. Clothing. We've gone over this already. You can use clothing in various methods, including selling it inside of groups, selling it in places, as that person was doing. But you can also advertise clothing. Now, if you spend, I don't know, 1,000 Robux on one advertisement for one high-quality piece of clothing, if you know how to make clothing yourself, if not, I will link in the description to some clothing creation tutorials. That should help you out and get you started on making basic types of clothing. But clothing is a great way of generating Robux. If you spend 1,000 Robux advertisement on a very high quality piece of clothing, people will see the advertisement, they'll buy the clothing, and you more than likely will make a profit, meaning you make more money than the money you spent on the advertisement. Now, let me show you some examples. Here's the Roblox Catalog, and this is a great place to look at examples of this. Almost all of these clothes either come from a group. Here's a group, here's a group, here's a group, here's a group, here's a group. 90% of these clothes are either coming from a group, advertised by the players, things of that nature, and they are, look at this, 62,000 sales, 50 Robux times 62,000, that person's rich. 50 Robux times 27,000, that person's rich. This is all from the same exact group. Let's take a look at this group. And he only has 4,000 members, but yet tens of thousands of sales. Like hundreds of thousands if you combine all the various types of clothing. And this is a great way of making Robux if you know how to do it. All of these methods require some sort of effort from you, as you can tell. And if you're not willing to give that effort, then you're not going to make Robux. Because I'll tell you right here, right now, none of those methods hack Robux, generate free Robux. They don't work. You're going to have to do something yourself to gain Robux just in real life. You have to do something to become successful and earn that money or earn that career or whatever. Now, clothing is not a preferable method of mine, mostly because I can't make clothing. I don't know how to do it, and I really don't want to spend money on developers to do it. But I personally would recommend using either groups or places. Let's move on to method number 4 now. Method number 4, which seems to be a lot of people's favorite method, trading limiteds. Now on my main account I do have a couple of limiteds. I have tried trading before, but I just can't figure out the system. I don't know why. It seems complex to me. I don't know how to do it. If any of you do know how to do it, I would recommend you help out some of the people who don't know how to do it in the comments, and maybe me. System's a little complex, but generally the basis of it is you trade limited items in the Roblox Catalog, which are hats that were sold in limited quantities, I believe, and now you players can sell them privately. Now there's various games like the trade place game, I forget the name, the trade hangout, various groups of people that do this, in which you can sell your limiteds for better limiteds, then sell those better limiteds for better limiteds than that, and it just continues to go, and then you can sell those, make Robux. I think that's how it works. Correct me if I'm wrong. I do not know how the system works, but you can also use trading to generate Robux. Now, seeing as I'm using Bandicam, the silly little non-registered version, I'm planning on buying the registered version. My time is running out for the video, so thank you for watching, and if you enjoyed, give it a like, leave some feedback so I can do better on my next video, and so forth. Remember, you're going to have to put effort into this. You're not going to get free Robux. It's not possible. If you can find a method on how to get free Robux, do message me, because I like to use that too as much as all of you would. And thank you for watching.